early train. You were so familiar, but you're not the same as all the other drifters who have lost their way. You remind me of a love that never changes. Now's the time, now's the moment, yeah, now I see. Turn my head round and make you smile back at me. Now's the time, now's the moment, yeah, now I see. Tell you that there is nothing that's out of reach. We are the dreamers, the light keepers, we are one. This is our time, this is our time. We are the dreamers, the light keepers, we are one. This is our time, this is our time. While you find your footsteps and I breathe again, there's a new connection that's as old as when love was all that mattered and you were young and free. I'm all to you as you are all to me. Now's the time, now's the moment, yeah, now I see. Turn my head round and make you smile back at me. Now's the time, now's the moment, yeah, now I see. Tell you that there is nothing that's out of reach. We are the dreamers, the light keepers, we are one. This is our time, this is our time. We are the dreamers, the light keepers, we are one. This is our time, this is our time. This is our time. out of nowhere, like a bullet train. You were so familiar, but you're not the same as all the other drifters who have lost their way. You remind me of a love that never changes. Now's the time, now's the moment, yeah, now I see. Turn my head round and make you smile back at me. Now's the time, now's the moment, yeah, now I see. Tell you that there is nothing that's out of reach. We are the dreamers, the light keepers, we are one. This is our time, this is our time. We are the dreamers, the light keepers, we are one. This is our time, this is our time. While you find your footsteps and I...
afternoon. 2026. Before we begin our ceremony, our senior chorus will perform the national anthem. We will say the Pledge of Allegiance, and we will have a moment of silence for those who cannot be here today. I would ask that, if able, please stand until all three are completed. And at this time, I would welcome our senior class chorus to perform our national
You see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night. O'er the land of the free. Birthday, dear Miss A. Happy birthday to you.
We have several retirees this year, and I'd like to acknowledge them here as they also begin a new and exciting and uncertain chapter of their lives. Some members were unable to attend, and we will recognize them by reading their names. For those who are in attendance, we would ask them to come up onto the stage to receive a gift of our appreciation for all of their service. So I would like to start by recognizing the following retirees from our Joseph Osgood School. Please recognize Ms. Margaret Stillman, Mr. Ted Holland, and Ms. Michelle Joyce. At our middle school, Ms. Laura Schwartz and Ms. Eileen Weislinger. And at the district level, please recognize Ms. Susan Owen, Director of Finance and Operations, Ms. Nora Resendez, and Ms. Sandra Zappolo, two of our drivers. Joining us today are 7 of our retirees, and I would ask each to come to the stage as your name is called. First, Mrs. Holland. Faculty, where she has remained a beloved member of the grade 3 team. Mrs. Holland brings a perfect combination of warmth and high expectations to her interactions with students, and her classroom is likewise an ideal balance of structure and joyful child. Her class picture from back in their days in the 3rd grade. Upon hearing that a former student is paying a visit, subbing in the building, or even there on official business as Senator O'Connor's district director, Mrs. Holland is quick to reconnect, offer a hug, and catch up on all of their accomplishments. It is clear in both actions and words that Mrs. Holland holds her Deer Hill community close to her heart, much as we will do the same for her. Mrs. Margaret Holland. Ms. Miller, who's completing her 17th year of service to Cohasset Public Schools. She began in 2009 as an ESP at the middle school under the guidance of Mrs. Ritz, before eventually moving to the high school, where she has helped hundreds of students navigate the challenges of the secondary school experience. The role of the ESP is often undervalued, but her students would tell you that her reliability, patience, and breadth of knowledge have had a transformative impact on the learning environment. Congratulations, Ms. Miller. Mr. Sears. After a distinguished career spanning public, private, and international education, Mr. Sears spent the last 13 years in Cohasset, enriching our school community with a profound sense of adventure, empathy, and humanity. He is a model of radical acceptance, meeting every student exactly where they are and encouraging them alongside his students, and through his example, broadened their understanding of a world far beyond the bubble, one in which their talents, compassion, and voices are deeply needed. Mr. Sears. Mrs. McIlarney. After 20 years of dedicated service to the Cohasset Middle and High Schools, Mrs. Mack, as she is affectionately known by her students, leaves behind an extraordinary legacy. Possessing a remarkable breadth of experience in both reinvention and deeper understanding of ourselves and our shared humanity. Quite simply, she inspired generations of students to continue discovering the very best versions of themselves. Mrs. McIlarney. Mrs. McGinnis. After also giving 20 years of dedicated service as both a middle school and high school teacher, Mrs. McGinnis leaves behind an extraordinary legacy of leadership, compassion, and intellectual curiosity. Throughout her career, she inspired generations of students to better understand themselves and their place in the larger world, encouraging thoughtful reflection, empathy, and a lifelong love of learning. As a department chair, she was a steady and respected leader who tirelessly advocated for both colleagues and students, always working to strengthen her school community. Her wisdom, integrity, and unwavering commitment to education have made a lasting impact that will continue to be felt for years to come. Mrs. McGinnis. Nurse Collins, concluding an extraordinary 25 years of service in Cohasset, Nurse Collins quite simply represents the very best of what Cohasset has to offer. With a rare ability to balance compassion with accountability, she has been a steady and trusted presence for students, families, and colleagues alike. Whether navigating moments of a genuine crisis or expertly managing the daily negotiations over the appropriate number of cough drops and what is considered a legitimate faculty parking spot, she approached every interaction with humor, wisdom, and grace. Her commitment to living deliberately, caring deeply, and always putting students first has left an immeasurable mark on our community. The warmth, steadiness, and humanity that she brought to our schools each day will leave a profound void and will be deeply missed. Nurse Collins. And finally, Dr. Leslie Scollins, Assistant Superintendent. As a vital member of the COVID response team, Dr. Scollins brought extraordinary effort, creativity, and solutions-oriented thinking to what was arguably one of the most challenging periods schools have ever faced. Her leadership and steady presence were foundational to our ability not only to persevere, but to continue supporting students in meaningful and innovative ways. With a relentless focus on student well-being and achievement, she worked tirelessly alongside administrators and faculty to design adaptive changes that advance student success in its broadest and most important sense. Capping off an exceptional career in education, Dr. Scollins leaves behind a legacy of compassion, resilience, and visionary leadership. We thank her deeply for her service and wish her a truly well-earned retirement. As we thank and recognize our faculty and staff, I also want to take a moment to thank the parents for their support over the past 13 years. You continue to be the biggest influence on your child, and your collaboration makes and has made all of the difference. I would now like to welcome Class President Johnny Appleton to the podium to give our welcome address.
Good afternoon, family, friends, faculty, and the class of 2026. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to give the welcome address today and to congratulate our class on this achievement. Before I begin, I want us all to take a moment to appreciate the people who helped us along the way. To all of the friends and family in the crowd, thank you for standing by our side consistently for the past 4 years. Thank you for sticking by us through late nights, for rides to school, sports, and other activities, and for being an unwavering layer of support in our busy lives. There's an old saying which, I'll admit, I didn't discover anywhere more significant than Pinterest. The saying goes, if you choose not to find joy in the snow, you will have less joy in your life, but still the same amount of snow. The snow here isn't a reference to our 5 snow days, though the weather did seem to be on our side this year. Clear skies for prom, senior week, graduation, and of course, the perfect beach day for our skip day. The snow I'm talking about runs a little deeper than that. The snow is a metaphor for the struggles we all face every day. Throughout my life, part of my snow has been a cycle of losing my hair. This cycle has come on an inconsistent schedule, unpredictable and always unwelcome. But I never expected it to happen again senior spring. Not right before prom and graduation, a time when it feels like we're stepping into the spotlight and every moment is being photographed. But it reminded me, more powerfully than anything else could have, that we never fully control what the road ahead looks like. We only control the way we walk it. We only control how we choose to find the joy. When I look back on senior spring, I don't just think about this one setback. What comes to mind is our class breakfast at Sandy, the excitement we all had to come together, with classmates volunteering to provide food for each other. I think of the Model UN trip to New York and laughing with classmates as we walked out of the gym knowing we'd absolutely bombed a certain AP exam. I think of the courtyard and how at some point this spring it became impossible to walk past without seeing a group gathered around a hacky sack, recapturing our youthful playground days like it was the most natural thing in the world. And I think of prom night, specifically the moment Fleetwood Mac's Landslide came on and something shifted. It didn't matter who you were or where you were standing. For those few minutes, we were one class, together. These moments are the joy in the snow. In the next few years, we will enter the most uncertain, yet most exciting times of our lives. We will truly be feeling how unpredictable life can be. We'll lose the 12:31 bell. That means it's time to race to the front of the lunch line. The 2:55 bell, that sends us sprinting to the parking lot before we're trapped for another 20 minutes. And of course, the 11:59 deadline for assignments that could have and probably should have been finished days ago. More and more, we have to start planning our future. For the past several years, the question was always the same. Where are you going to college? We heard it at every family gathering, every holiday dinner, every run-in with a neighbor. Luckily, this question has finally faded away throughout the year. But soon, it evolved to, what are you going to study? And then, what job are you going to get? And then, when are you going to get married? When are you going to start a family? What are you going to do with your life? As if any of us have a definitive answer. As if that answer couldn't change completely by tomorrow. Our lives are unpredictable, and we will always have another challenge and hopefully joy to face. And the truth is, this goes for all of us. Too often, we fail to realize how each of us has our own snow in our lives. It can be 10 feet of snow, or a small layer causing you to slip. But we all have moments where we feel the cold. The person by your side could be someone you know very well, or someone you haven't talked to in 4 years. They could be a state champion, or they could be at the top of the class. They could be someone who makes you laugh every day at school, or someone whose voice you've rarely heard. They could be someone you're jealous of because you think that they've somehow had the perfect high school experience. But no matter who they are, or what perception you have of them, they carry a struggle that only they can understand. The truth is, not one person in this class has had the perfect high school experience. The idea that you never know what someone is going through is an overly reinforced cliche, because it is true. But the best thing we can do is show each other patience and understanding. The best thing we can do is be there for each other as we all face the uncertainties in our lives. Once again, I want to take us all back to that moment on prom night when Landslide came on. Stevie Nicks asks in that song whether we can sail through the changing ocean tides, whether we can handle the seasons of our lives. I think we can. I think we already have. The snow will keep coming for all of us in all kinds of forms we can't predict. But the snow in your life will always melt again come spring, the time when you grow under a new light. You wouldn't be able to cross the stage today had you not overcome all the troubles life has thrown at you before. And as you face what the future holds, know that you'll be okay, just like you have been time and time again. If this year has taught me anything, it's that despite our trouble, joy lives right alongside it, if you're willing to look. Congratulations, class of 2026. Thank you for showing me how to find it.
Thank you, Johnny. At this time, I'd like to invite to the podium Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Sarah Shannon.
Parents, grandparents, family, friends, faculty, school committee, and most importantly, graduates. Good afternoon, and welcome to the graduation ceremony for the Cohasset High School class of 2026. I stand before you today, as Principal Scott shared, as the superintendent of the Cohasset Public Schools. That's a title that I'm very humbled and honored to wear. That said, the title closest to my heart today is one I share with so many of you. Parent, mother specifically, of one of today's graduating seniors. That is the title that drives what I want to share with you today, and that I hope will allow me a little bit of grace if I have a hard time getting through this. Seniors, I have had the distinct pleasure and privilege of literally watching you grow up. I saw you perform at Arbor Day concerts, dance parties with Mr. Dykus, and Snapper Sneaker Day while you were at Osgood. I watched you shine as you put on your wax museum and dropped eggs from the roof of Deer Hill School. In middle school, if I saw you, unfortunately, it was from about 6 feet away or through a screen, as the majority of your middle school experience was during the height of COVID. In high school, I was able to watch so many of you on fields, on courts, on the wrestling mat. I saw you perform at concerts, share your art, showcase your academic achievements. Over the last 2 years, I've been able to watch you grow as students in your classrooms, say hello to you in the hallways, and get to know so many of you more personally as we met over the course of our days. Some of you I know better than others, depending on how ours or your paths have crossed with Michael's. But no matter what, it has been a true joy to watch you all grow up. As I've reflected on your 13-year journey, one thing stands out to me about your class in particular. You embody kindness, inclusion, and acceptance. You've been like that from the time you were little, and from my perspective, even though you have all changed, that has not. As I've talked with many teachers, coaches, and parents over your final few weeks at CHS, they've all shared that same sentiment. It's what makes your class so special. Thinking about what you're all doing next, I've realized that the close-knit ties you have with each other and within the larger Cohasset community are both a huge benefit to you as you leave our schools to embark on your new adventures, and they are at the same time very likely a source of some of your anxiety or uncertainty. Your next steps are filled with so many unknowns. For many of you, you don't know who your new roommates or friends will be, what courses you will take, if you'll like college, your major, your new job, if being across the country or close to home is right for you, or simply what the future beyond today holds. I could argue, though, that your experience growing up and going to school in Cohasset has readied you for exactly this. Two researchers and authors I deeply respect, Drs. Brene Brown and Adam Grant, have both written about navigating uncertainty. Brown reminds us that the vulnerability uncertainty triggers is actually an invitation to be courageous, to walk into the unknown, embracing new challenges, being open to growth, and building new connections. Grant adds that it's not just about being prepared, it's about fortifying your mental attitude alongside that preparation, identifying what matters to you so you can move toward it with intention, even when the path isn't fully clear yet. Together, they point to the same toolkit: stay curious, stay grounded in your values, and keep reaching out to build new connections. And here's what I know about you. You already have that toolkit. As graduates of Cohasset, you have strong character, you know who you are and what you value, you embrace challenges, you want to learn and grow, you think about others, you know belonging matters, and you give of yourself to make the communities around you stronger. You embody the Cohasset vision of a graduate. The opportunity ahead is simply to discover more about who you are and who you want to be beyond this town. You'll have new friends, new interests, and new paths forward that you didn't even know existed. That's exactly where you're supposed to be right now. You don't have to figure it all out by day one. And to all of you in the audience today who are raising and helping to raise this amazing group of young people, I know that many of you are also sitting with high levels of uncertainty. I know that because I'm right there with you. I wonder over and over again if our children will be okay when they go off, if they'll make good decisions based on the values we've instilled in them, if they'll graduate and find a job in this world of AI. But I'm taking the page out of Dr. Brown's book. Out of the book she shared. I am leaning into courage and trusting that we have, as parents, as schools, and as a community, given our children the skills and the tools that they need to navigate the next step on their journey. I'm leaning on the connections I have with so many of you to help me get through this empty, open nest stage of life, and I'm leaning into the unknown alongside all of our graduates, as I hope to model what it looks like to sit with uncertainty, staying curious, and moving forward with courage. Before I wrap up, I hope that you'll indulge me this one personal moment. Michael, I'm not sure you ever expected to be the kid of the superintendent. That said, you have played the role well. You found a way to balance the extra high levels of expectations that your father and I have set for you, the extra set of eyes on you at school because of our connection, and question after question from your peers when things might be going on, or if we'll have a snow day. Fortunately for you, but not for the rest of us, the answer to that was always yes. All of that said, it's been amazing to spend the last 2 years in school with you. I've loved seeing you in the hallways and the classrooms, having a few lunches with you here and there, when you knock on my window after wrestling practice, and being able to support you in ways I couldn't when I worked in other districts. I'm proud of you, and I will miss you terribly when you head off to school next year. Thank you for letting me come to school with you. In closing, and to all of our graduates, the Cohasset class of 2026, and to every parent, grandparent, family member, friend in this room, we are all stepping into something unknown today. Let's do it the way this class has always done everything, with kindness, with courage, and together. Congratulations, class of 2026. We will miss you.
Thank you, Dr. Shannon. It is my pleasure to now welcome our class orator, Ms. Natalie Hefner.
All right. Good afternoon, faculty, family, friends, and most importantly, the class of 2026. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Natalie Hefner, and I'm both humbled and honored to be speaking to you all today. Graduates, somehow our 4 years are over. But to me, it's strange. I didn't know how I was going to feel on the day of graduation, but it wasn't this. As my parents know, I've struggled with change my entire life. But this morning, I woke up beneath a feeling I didn't expect. I felt a type of comfort carried by an unmistakable sense of happiness. And I think that's simply because not everything has changed yet. Sure, we're wearing these long gowns and strange caps. And sure, we're in the music circus, not the school building, surrounded by our parents and their parents. And sure, instead of our teachers standing in front of us in the classroom at the whiteboard, they're now sitting colorfully in rows beyond our view, now staring at us instead of us staring at them. So yes, that is all different. Everything about today feels unfamiliar. But the one thing that hasn't changed yet is the people we're sitting next to. That is still the same. You're currently sitting shoulder to shoulder with the same kids you've seen every day for years. The same kids you share meals with, memories with, you've seen on days you're in good moods and on days you don't feel like talking. The thing that I haven't fully grasped yet is that within the next hour, that will finally change. And this chapter of our lives will soon belong only to memory. But maybe it won't hit us immediately. Maybe it'll happen slowly, like a week from now, as we're enjoying our long-awaited summer, but begin to realize that the freedom we once longed for now comes with a lingering sense of loss, one that makes our hearts feel a little heavier. Or maybe it'll happen a month from now, when we catch ourselves actually missing the people we once saw every day without even thinking about it. Or maybe it'll be a year from now, when we've come to terms with the fact that our only windows into each other's lives became fleeting pictures or videos that appear for a few seconds on phone screens, or the scattered weeks when we all find our way back to the same town for breaks or for summer, actually excited to hold on to even a small piece of what we once got to experience every day. But eventually, we will all have to say goodbye. High school isn't forever, although some of us may wish it were, and some of us are happy it isn't. And it's moments like these that serve as a reminder that love and grief have always belonged to each other. Because whether we want to recognize it or not, loving anything comes with a guarantee. And it's that one day you'll have to grieve it. But perhaps the existence of grief only speaks to the depth of what was once there. Now, in this graduating class, there are 106 students. That's small enough that I know what car each of you drove here in. I know if you're more of a Dunkin', Mary Lou's, or Starbucks person in the mornings. I know the cadence of your walk in the hallway. I know which of you are introverts, and I know which are extroverts. In fact, I think I could recite many of your class schedules purely off memory. Many of us have spent more than a decade growing up together, and naturally, that comes with its complications. In a class this small, it's easy to compare ourselves to each other. Who's taking the most APs? Who got the highest grade on that test? Who was made captain? Who's going to the school with the lowest acceptance rate? But growing up this close to one another has also meant we've had front row seats to each other's lives. Closer enough to not just recognize the achievements themselves, but the work, the sacrifice, and the growth behind them. We know what it felt like to watch our classmates bring home a state championship every single year of high school. We know what it felt like to watch Addie, the girl who was one day asking me if I wanted to sit with her on the bus because I didn't know anyone here yet, reach her 1,000 points at the end of her senior year basketball season. Or watch Gus reach 2,000 rushing yards on the field of Gillette Stadium. Many of us even know what it felt like to reach new heights traveling together, whether it was standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon at 15 years old or staring out at the Swiss Alps at 18. And I think there's something beautiful about the fact that we're the only 106 people in the world who knew exactly what it felt like to grow up here with these exact people in this exact moment in time. And can I just say, we are lucky. We know what it feels like to take the long way home from school past Sandy and get to roll our windows down and inhale as we count the days left until we're back on that beach. We know what it feels like to walk into class and see Scorps sitting there with that grin on her face, or Mr. Leary's briefcase on the desk of our absent teacher last period on a Friday. Now, as grateful as I am to be chosen to be your class auditor and get to speak about all my feelings to you, let me be the first to say that I am not perfect. Actually, I'm far from it. But sometimes I like to imagine that I am. And maybe a few months or a few years from now, as I'm walking across campus from my dorm or from the dining hall, I'll picture myself as just that. Because then, maybe I'd have Anya's laugh, or I'd have Will's compassion, or Amanda's mind, or Susie's joy, or Jack's determination, or Cam's courage, or Pauline's kindness, or Kate's athleticism. Because one thing high school teaches you, especially in a school like Cohasset, is how easy it is to believe that perfection is the goal. But standing here today, I don't think that's what mattered at all. Because as I'm looking out at all of you right now, I don't see your GPAs. I don't see the school you're going to in the fall. Because one day, that's not gonna matter as much as it maybe feels like it does right now. Instead, I see people who know how to make me laugh. I see people I grew apart from and then thankfully grew back to. I see people who made the boring classes fun. I see people I'd text at 1 a.m. to see if they did the homework. And I see people who made the hour and 20-minute long periods feel just a little bit shorter. You see, being a teenager is a strange thing. And to quote Charles Dickens, it's the best of times, it's the worst of times. And I don't know if I'm the only one who's been feeling this way, but something about this past month of high school has felt different to me. As I've been writing this speech and listening to all your end-of-year speeches in AP Lit and reading the yearbooks remembered most and watching everyone finally open up about what this town and these people have meant to them, I've started to notice why. Maybe it's just something that comes with your senior year, but it seems like it's only when we're about to leave that we finally understand what we're leaving. The routines of Cohasset that we once took for granted have become the very things we can no longer imagine living without. And in realizing that, I started to see something that's quite ironic about growing up in a small town in a small school like this one. We spent years complaining that everyone knew our business, yearning for a bigger pond, only to discover that our greatest fear now may be that no one will know us at all. We spent so long craving the anonymity of a bigger world, but standing here today, that suddenly feels a lot like being forgotten. But here's what I've come to realize. We are not losing each other, at least not unless we choose to, and that decision is only ours to make. So yes, it makes me sad knowing that this is the last time every person in this room will be together in one room again. And yes, it makes me sad knowing some of us may never even speak again. But it also makes me incredibly happy knowing that some of us will someday stand next to each other at our weddings, meet each other's children, celebrate promotions, mourn losses, and continue witnessing each other's lives in ways we can't even imagine yet. And maybe that's what growing up really is. It's not losing people, just carrying them differently. So yes, today is an ending, but thankfully it's not the ending. It's only high school, and right now, we are as young as we will ever be again. We have entire lives ahead of us, lives that will be messy and beautiful and unpredictable. So as you leave here today, I ask that you continue to grow. Continue to make mistakes, choose the wrong thing, get your heart broken, change your mind, fail at something important, learn how to apologize, and learn how to begin again. So before I let you guys go, I'll leave you with this. People talk about home as if it's just a place. A town on a map, a street you can drive back to, and sometimes it is. Everyone has a place they consider home. Maybe it's where they were born. Maybe it's where they moved to. Maybe it's somewhere they found later in life. But standing here today, I know with complete certainty that home for me will always be Cohasset. And it's not because of the beaches or the houses or the roads we've all driven down 1,000 times, but it's because of the people. Because home is hearing the same voices in the hallway every morning for years. It's knowing exactly where everyone sits in the caf without even having to think about it. It's Friday night lights, it's spirit weeks, it's the walk to sunrise after prom, and it's realizing that the people sitting around you have unknowingly become a part of who you are. You all made this place home. And one day, years from now, we'll all leave places behind again. We'll move into dorms, and then into apartments, and then into houses in cities we've never even seen before. We'll build new lives with new people. But I think a small part of us will always measure every new place against this one, against this town, against these people, against the feeling of growing up together here. So wherever life takes us next, I ask that you don't forget this place or each other. Because if these past few months have taught me anything, it's that there really is no place like home. And for me, home will always sound a little like the voices of the class of 2026. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Natalie. I would like to now welcome our class valedictorian, Ms. Amanda Fox.
Good afternoon, family, friends, faculty, and fellow graduates of the class of 2026. I'd like to begin by thanking all the people who made this day possible. Thank you, Mr. Scott, and the incredible faculty for your support, dedication, and guidance over the years. Thank you to the parents and families here today for your love and sacrifices, because we would not be here without you today. And to my mom and dad, thank you for working tirelessly and being there for me every step of the way. At the beginning of freshman year, we were told that these were the years that mattered. Almost overnight, the weight of success was placed squarely on our shoulders. We were told by parents to chase good grades, take APs, play varsity sports, and join clubs that look good on a college application. And the pressure didn't just come from home. We'd open our phones, search once about getting into our dream school, and suddenly our entire Instagram feed was flooded with what activities mattered most, which AP classes you need, which majors paid the most, and rankings of the best colleges in the country. Many nights, we got home late from practice or rehearsal, down to Celsius at 10 p.m. to finish homework, and dragged ourselves out of bed the next morning to grab a Mary Lou's blue-red raspberry Red Bull just to survive an 8 a.m. chemistry test. Through it all, we kept showing up, tired, overwhelmed, but still determined. And 3 months from now, we're all freshmen again, and there's a new definition of success. Only this time, it's picking the most profitable major, the most prestigious internship, and the highest paying job offer. Then at your new job, it starts all over again. So at what point are we successful? At what point can we just stop and enjoy life? Fellow graduates, I want to share a different truth with you. True success isn't measured by someone else's ruler. It is defined by your own. Michelle Obama once said, "Success isn't about how your life looks to others, it's about how it feels to you." Being successful isn't about being impressive, it's about being inspired. For years, we've been measured by everyone else's standards. We have been graded, ranked, and compared both in the classroom and on the field. But the reality is that you can meet all the traditional markers of success and still not feel fulfilled. At first, reaching those accomplishments feels motivating and rewarding. But when we solely rely on external markers to feel satisfied, they often fall short. It's only when we know what we value most that we can begin to craft our own definition of success. So I challenge every one of you to throw away someone else's measuring stick and create your own. In fact, you may have been doing so already without realizing. As graduates of Cohasset High School, we are truly fortunate. Cohasset is one of the best public schools in Massachusetts. We have benefited from dedicated teachers, outstanding athletics, abundant extracurricular opportunities, and countless resources that position us for future success. We genuinely have every opportunity to build fulfilling and successful lives. But I didn't fully understand what that meant until sophomore year, when I traveled to Panama with a group of fellow students and witnessed firsthand the significant obstacles many children face in pursuing an education. They endure long, difficult walks to school, classrooms without electricity or running water, a complete lack of basic supplies, and families struggling with deep poverty where even adequate nutrition is often impossible. Over the past 2 years, I've seen similar challenges in Ghana and Vietnam. In Ghana, we focus on making reusable sanitary pads for female students, because without them, many girls missed a week of school every month, causing them to fall behind academically and often leading to dropout. These experiences have deeply changed my perspective. Perhaps our personal definition of success should include not only our own achievements, but also using our advantages to help others overcome real systemic barriers so they can reach their full potential. Just as our efforts have helped improve the lives of those abroad, you don't have to travel internationally to see that your success is also interconnected in the efforts of others. In Mr. Palmieri's class, after finishing each book, we would spend weeks researching, drafting, and writing an essay. After turning them in, we'd get them back covered in comments and suggestions, requiring us to revise and improve. We were challenged, humbled, and oftentimes discouraged. But Mr. Palmieri wasn't holding us to a standard we couldn't meet. He was pushing us past the version of ourselves that was satisfied with the first attempt. The process was frustrating, but that was exactly the point. He saw things in us that perhaps we didn't see in ourselves. And as you look around this venue, think about all the parents, grandparents, faculty, staff, coaches, advisors, and classmates who have supported our growth, broadened our perspective, and contributed to our successes. As we head to college, find a major or a path that you are truly passionate about. I know everyone in your life is probably offering you life advice on what you should do, but I encourage you to explore different subjects with an open mind. I'm entering college the same way, not locked into one plan, but excited to discover where my interests lead. I hope we all take full advantage of the endless possibilities our future holds. Let your successes be measured by the dreams that light you up, the growth you achieve on your hardest days, the relationships you nurture, and the pride of knowing that you stay true to yourself. Class of 2026, this is my hope for every single one of you as we step into the future. May your life be filled with everything that truly matters. May your work inspire you and light you up inside. May your experiences challenge you, humble you, teach you, and help you grow. And may you be surrounded by people who love you deeply and stand by your side every step of the way. We are not here to live someone else's definition of success. We are here to create our own. Go out in the world and be brave. Be curious, be kind, make mistakes, learn from them, love deeply, laugh often, and when the noise of the world gets too loud, pause, look inward, and ask yourself, am I building a life that feels like mine? If the answer is yes, then you are already successful. Congratulations to graduates. Thank you.
Members of the school committee, Chairperson Evans, Dr. Shannon, and Dr. Scollins, it gives me great pleasure to certify you that the candidates seated before you have met all of the requirements for graduation as established by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the Cohasset School Committee. Our Assistant Principal, Ms. Darling, will read the graduates' names as they cross the stage to receive their diplomas.
Amanda Marie Fox. Mia Elizabeth Peoples. John Frederick Appleton. Lennox Riley Rickson. Emily Kristen Cunning. Emma Grace Lee. Fiona Kathleen Rennie. John Adams Kearney. Natalie Yvonne Hefner. Faisal Zaid Al-Rashid. William Edward Alberti III. Addison May Andrews. Daniel Thomas Baker. Bryn Alexandra Basil. Robert Henry Blanchard. Charles Alexander Bodell. Tegan Margaret Bridge. Reed Nelson Buddington. Gavin Torrance Campbell. Ava Lee Carcio. Ronan Gerard Carnes. Tobias Ford Carpenter. Brandon Elliott Chapman. Paul Murdoch Chapman. Haley Emerson Cody. Isabella Grace Collins. Edwin Manuel Delgado. Sam Matthew DeMello. Braden Cole DeBona. Jake Ryder Dolan. Mary Catherine Donahue. Timothy Joseph Donovan. Grace Ann Doyle. Maddie Lee Driscoll. Tig Daly Dwyer, Jr. Nora Barbaro Elwell. Bashoy Sameh Fawzi. Brooke Higgins Figueredo. Nolan Patrick Flaherty. Ava Belair Flynn. Padrig Dennis Foley. Brandon Anthony Ford. Susanna Pamela Frank. Charles Henry Gainey. Shiera Makiba Aisha Gibson. Angus James Green. Catherine Jackson Greer. Olivia Marie Griffin. Hendricks David Gustafson. Layla Roseanne Haddad. Aaron Philip Hassan. Ian Beckett Henry. Oliver Clark Henry. Jacob Aaron Iandoli. Farah Helene Jackson. Hayden Elizabeth Johnston. Julia Kennedy Joyce. Ronan Michael Carney. Celia Lillian Kennedy. Nora Salma Khan. Aiden Henry Kissler. Ian Christopher Condrat. Matthew James Cups. Natalie Abigail Laird. Brendan Richard Loughlin. Jack Thomas McDonald. Blake Alexander Marshall. Charlotte Grace McCallion. Connor Christian James McCann. Nolan Xavier McHugh. Max John McPhillips. Kyle Matthew McSweeney. Miles Sullivan Melanson. Max Daniel Monahan. Noella Jean Mascardelli. James Michael Muldowney. Pauline Heike Madeline Navicki. Anya Marie Norton. Caitlin May Oliver. Amelia K. Palmer. Ryan Thomas Peroni. Amara Louise Pierce. Robert Bruce Rafferty III. Avery Elizabeth Regan. Nora Elizabeth Riley. Abigail DeWitt Rennie. Adria Scythe. Jacob Michael James Sasso. Campbell Fiore Schiebel. Michael Rahal Shannon. Caitlin Elizabeth Sims. Megan Mary Smith. Mackenzie Carey Steinmetz. Madison Carey Steinmetz. Jackson Montgomery Stonehouse. Megan Catherine Sullivan. Kevin John Lewis Sweet. Connor Declan Thornton. Cameron Charles West. Harrison Andrew West. Michael Barron Wildfire. Sawyer Robert Williams. Madden Grace Rose Wozneski. Kylie Reese Z80.
Good job. Class of 2026. I was walking in Whitney Woods not too long ago thinking about what I might say to you at graduation, and I came upon this cluster of aspen trees abutting a vernal pool. If you've ever seen an aspen, it's a beautiful tree. The bark is gray and often pitted with diamond-shaped pores called lenticels. Young leaves are a coppery color before turning green, and its twigs are a dark brown, thin, and shiny texture. It's another reminder that the beauty this town has to offer. Whether you're walking along Sandy Beach, taking a ride along Jerusalem Road, skating the frog pond in the common, or walking across the stage at the music circus, it's hard to disagree that it's a privilege to be here. On my first day of cafeteria duty 14 years ago, Mr. Sweeney sidled up to me, not really knowing me at all, and he threw an elbow in my side, and he said with a grin, "Have you ever been in a room with so many good-looking people?" And it was hard to disagree. I grew up in Weymouth, and some people look like Jackie, but most people look like Joe. And this is not news to you. Among a variety of really important and intellectually daunting tasks that fall my way include proofreading your yearbook posts. As Dan Baker writes, growing up in this town is such a blessing. Take the time to enjoy the moment. So many of you wrote about the friendships you made, about your families and their support, about your teachers and your classes and all the clubs and organizations that have helped shape you. Perhaps best summarized in Timmy Donovan's parting thoughts that, quote, "It's not about the destination or the journey, it's about the company along the way." And far too many of you wrote with a fondness that inspired my own curiosity about whatever it is that is happening in the Steinmetz's barn. You wrote it. It's part of what makes this town quaint. Its beauty and the opportunities that Cohasset affords are enviable. I mean, let's face it, we evoke our fair share of jealousy. Chants of daddy's money at sporting events evoke the myth of Narcissus, a handsome young Greek around your age who was cursed to fall in love with his own reflection as punishment for his vanity. Sitting next to what I can only imagine was a pool of water similar to what I saw in the woods, Narcissus eventually succumbs to despair and drowns trying to kiss his own aqueous image. And some of you are looking around like you know someone who can relate to that story. And honestly, so do I. But I'd argue that the myth speaks to something all of us have felt, especially in high school. Not because we're consumed with our own vanity like Narcissus, but because you've largely spent your years in secondary education wrestling with the image in front of you. As a former headmaster told me, high school is not where you find out what you want to do, it's where you discover who you are. How many of us have almost drowned trying to love the image that reflects back to us? How many of us have been filled with self-doubt, self-criticism, even self-loathing, not just at the image we project to the world, but with the image of our true selves that only we can see? Are we good enough? Do we matter? Will anyone out there actually see us for who we are? Despite all the accolades that you've earned and hopefully the praise you've received and deserved these last few weeks, each of you has spent a considerable amount of time confronting the challenges of fear, love, ambition, and personal growth over the last 18 years. It was no different for your parents or your teachers. What you've done up until now is hard, not because of the tests and quizzes and projects and games and sleepless nights studying, but because trying to figure out who you are, who you belong to, and what you're good at, and what your purpose is, this is what makes school hard. And it doesn't end just because you have a diploma. We see that. It's why our vision of the graduate has 3 pillars and not 7. Yes, we want you to be academically prepared, creative problem solvers, effective communicators, responsible decision makers, and self-aware human beings who can work with other human beings. But more important to us is that you can become people of integrity, who can embrace your individual journeys and use your skills in harmony with the needs of the world and in alignment with your authentic selves. In 1988, Paulo Coelho wrote The Alchemist, a story about a boy named Santiago, a Spanish shepherd boy who journeys from Spain to Egypt in search for treasure hidden somewhere. His journey reflects the challenges that you also face: the uncertainty, the pressures of the world, your individual struggle with who you really are in the pursuit of meaning. The anxiety he has around leaving the world he knows, around leaving the safety of his community in favor of the uncertainty of discovering what Coelho calls his personal legend. This is the same anxiety many of you faced back in the fall, applying to colleges or investigating the workforce. The same anxiety that many of you will face tomorrow when the parties are over and the checks are cashed and your extended family flies back home. When, alone, you consider your next steps, steps that lie ahead, shrouded in uncertainty. Santiago's story begins in an abandoned church, sleeping among his flock. A boy whose parents had other plans for him, but whose father loved him enough to let him find his own way. The pursuit of your dreams today is in many ways more difficult than ever, as new technologies and unprecedented social comparison entice us to chase more practical goals over passionate ones. The world will offer you no shortage of practical advice about abandoning what lights you up in favor of what pays well. You've probably already heard most of it. Know that we have been preparing you for this. And know that the ultimate tragedy is not the struggle that you will encounter in your journey, because there will be struggles, but the unwillingness to begin again in the face of that fear. In every stage of life, we are met with incredible obstacles. Many of your parents will remember how nervous you were to step in a school bus for the first time or to find a seat in the cafeteria as they anxiously awaited your arrival home. And yet the first thing that you did was put up in the cafeteria pictures of the good times that you had at Deer Hill and Osgood. Santiago crosses into a foreign country chasing a dream, and within days is robbed by someone he trusted, left completely alone without even a shared language to fall back on. How many of us have felt alone at points in our journey from things largely outside of our control? Tragic losses, shifts in family, sudden moves, financial hardship, illness, athletic dreams that never quite materialized the way we thought they would be. This is the reality and the heartbreak of the human condition. And hopefully, like Santiago, you've met people along the way who've helped you move through these challenges. While Santiago travels to Egypt in pursuit of treasure, Bashori came to us in pursuit of better opportunity, having to learn a new culture and a new language. And hopefully we made that transition easier through new friendships and the mentorship of people like Ms. Burke. It's my hope that coaches and teachers have helped see things in you that you maybe didn't realize were there. Teachers like Miss Anthony and Mr. Sasso working with Will and Toby to create magnificent artwork. Teachers who helped students like Ava and Brooke realize their talents and their goodness, who helped nurture Patty's gift for environmental science. Coaches who helped turn players into local legends like the Gus Bus, Megatron. Counselors and administrators who demonstrated that they would never give up on you despite how hard life seemed to be. As Grace Doyle put it, The school made me the person I am today. I hope that there is a small piece of that sentiment in each of you. It was for me. One of the hallmarks of my high school experience, Ms. Rizzo, is actually in the audience today, celebrating the graduation of Bella. We can clap for her. She's up there. Her compassion towards me at the time never went unappreciated, and perhaps I get the chance to thank you now, Ms. Riz, for being one of the first to recognize the importance of social emotional learning, even if that was allowing a 20-minute nap in the library conference room or, to use the quote, good bathroom, which happened to be across the street at my house. Santiago finally reaches the pyramids only to be robbed of the treasure and beaten, and in a cruel twist, one of the robbers tells Santiago about his own dream of treasure buried under a sycamore tree in an abandoned Spanish church, the very place where Santiago's journey began. Santiago returns home to dig up the treasure that was there all along, realizing that the true value lay not in the gold itself, but in everything he learned and experienced during his journey to find it. As Faisal so eloquently quotes in the yearbook, life is but a river. It has no beginning, no middle, no end. All we are worth is what we do while we float upon it, how we treat our fellow man. What Faisal captures both in his quote and in his actions is the most important lesson the alchemist teaches, that above else, love conquers all. I'm not talking about the love of friendship or romantic love, or even the love that perhaps happens in the Steinmetz's barn. Too often these are fleeting. This love is what is known as agapic love, a selfless, unconditional, benevolent choice focused on the well-being of others, requiring commitment and sacrifice without expecting anything in return. This is what I hope we have been able to model for you as a school and as a community, and I believe there is some truth that we have because your actions and your words have returned it to us already. We see it every day, whether we acknowledge it or not. So much of what you do never gets publicized. When Caitlin, Dax, Chris, Henry, and Madden work to create fun and meaningful projects for senior citizens. Johnny, Charlotte, Nora, and Ian's work addressing the very real need of food insecurity within our town. Mia's preservation of history, Shaira's work providing emergency relief to families, Anya's work with Morgan's Message, and so many students work with organizations like UNICEF. Paul, Kate, Ollie, Connor, and Emmy's work preserving our natural resources. Julia's work supporting adaptive skiing, Amara's work with Metco, Fiona and Kylie's work with our younger students. And there are so many more little things that don't have titles, like Amanda, who works quietly to support our neediest students, or the Village of Noella's friends who've shepherded Gracie into a new experience with such care and love. That's agapic love. Agapic love doesn't make us beautiful, it makes us strong. As Natalie so eloquently put in her oration, true love and grief have always belonged to each other. It's our internal engagement with that marriage that produces our external expressions of agape. So as we end our graduation exercises, I want to return to the image of the aspen tree in Whitney Woods. Just like Santiago, as you wander across continents, those trees will remain rooted in one place. Both journeying outward and returning home are necessary for self-discovery. But what's interesting about the aspen tree isn't just the beauty it projects. You see, aspen trees are unique. As a cluster of aspens develop, the roots of the trees grow together and form a giant organism beneath the ground. The many trees essentially become one. While what that tree projects to us might make it beautiful, it's the connections made beneath the surface that make it strong. You will always have each other, and you will always have us. And while the treasure you seek may be where you began, you can only claim it after becoming the person the journey has made you. I want to return one last time to Narcissus, the young man so consumed by his own reflection. In the prologue to The Alchemist, Kahilo revisits that myth with a twist. After Narcissus dies, the story doesn't end. Following the death, the goddess of the forest appears and finds the pool, which had been fresh water, turns into a lake of salty tears. "Why do you weep?" asked the goddess. "I weep for Narcissus," the lake says, "but I never noticed that Narcissus was beautiful. I weep because each time he knelt beside my banks, I could see in the depths of his eyes my own beauty reflected." As you go along your way, Know that we have seen the beauty of our community reflected in your actions, in your kindness, in your compassion, in your integrity, and in your joy. Wherever you go, may you always be a reflection of the beauty of others and bring to those communities all that you have brought to ours. Be well, and thank you. At this time, I would like to present to you the class of 2026.